Before the case came up in the Karnataka High Court, a Bangalore trial court in September 2014 had held Jayalalitha, her close aide Sasikala and two others guilty in the case. They were sentenced to jail and even asked to pay a fine. The verdict had wide ramifications on Jayalalitha's political career. She was forced to step down as Chief Minister. But later, the relief granted to her by the Karnataka High Court enabled her to get back in the CM's chair. The matter will come up again before the top court on June 7th. The hearing in wrestler Sushil Kumar's case has been postponed for tomorrow. The petition in the Delhi High Court was filed by the professional wrestler seeking conduct of trials for selection to the 74 kg men's freestyle event at the Rio Olympics. Olympic medalist Kumar and fellow wrestler Narsingh Yadav are engaged in a selection battle for a spot in the wrestling sport going to the Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. Senior advocate C.P. Sudhakar Prasad has been appointed the Advocate General of Kerala by the newly elected LDF government. He succeeds K.P. Dandapani. The decision was taken at a cabinet meeting in Tirunanthapuram today. Delhi High Court, while delivering the judgment in one vote, one bar, has said that bar associations merely represent the interests of their lawyers and they do not possess any regulatory control or power over the functioning of enrolled lawyers, nor can discipline them for misconduct. It is submitted that neither the Bar Council of any state nor the Bar Council of India have any powers to interfere in the affairs of the bar associations and cannot command them to amend its constitution without having a general body meeting. The Mumbai police on Tuesday sent the transcript of the controversial video clip of comedian Tanmay Bhatt of the AIB to the legal department following complaints that he had humiliated national icons Lata Mangeshkar and Sachin Tendulkar. The Snapchat caption "Sachin vs Lata Civil War" went viral on social media on Sunday and drew strong protests from all quarters. The police have sought legal opinion on whether they can register an FIR against Bhatt. They have also written to Google and YouTube administrators to block the controversial video. The All India Jat Arakshan Sangharsh Samiti is all set to challenge the interim stay on the Jat reservation quota by Punjab and Haryana High Court in the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, security has been tightened and the paramilitary forces have been deployed near the Muna Canal in the wake of the Jat agitation expected to resume from the 5th of June. Last week, the Punjab and Haryana High Court stayed the Haryana government order allowing reservation for Jats and 5 other communities under a newly carved backward classes category. Touching on an issue that has for long agonized Muslims in India, Union Minister for Law and Justice T.V. Sadanand Gowda said he is concerned about false terror charges slapped on Muslim youth that are followed by acquittals due to lack of evidence across the country. More importantly, he said legal reforms are in the pipeline to address such cases. Over 50,000 Muslim women and men have signed a petition seeking a ban on triple talaq. The petition, led by Bharatiya Muslim Mahila Andolan, has sought the National Commission for Women's Intervention to end this what is called un-Quranic practice. BMMA said a national signature campaign was underway in different states including Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, Kerala and UP against the practice. Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar has criticised NGOs going to court over environmental degradation, which leads to orders that are at times difficult to understand. Parrikar seemed critical of the Supreme Court order against registration of diesel cars above 2000cc in Delhi until further notice, saying this had forced German auto giant Mercedes-Benz to stop investing in the country's automobile sector. The California Institute for Technology has sued Apple Incorporation and Broadcom Limited over Wi-Fi patents. The institute has alleged that the company stole digital technology developed by one of its professors. The technology speeds up transmission of the Wi-Fi signals for their chips and mobile devices. The institute has filed a complaint at Quinn Emanuel Urquhart and Sullivan in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. The Supreme Court has refused to take up the plea-seeking CBI probe into the violent Jawahar Bagh clashes in Mathura that killed 29 people. It has asked the petitioner to approach the Allahabad High Court. The PIL was filed by the advocate and Delhi BJP spokesperson Ashwini Upadhyay. The producers of the film Udta Punjab are planning to approach the Bombay High Court against the verdict of the Censor Board's revising committee. The revising committee had asked producers to remove the word Punjab from the title of the film. The board has also recommended 89 cuts in the film, including scenes that show substance abuse and use of expletives. The Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court today dismissed a plea seeking a ban on the film Shorgul. Last week, a petition was filed by a social activist demanding that the film's release be withheld. The petition alleges that certain scenes in the movie might disturb social harmony. The movie is supposedly based on the Muzaffarnagar riots and is scheduled to release on June 24th. A Kerala High Court judge has rescued himself from a smuggling case. Justice K.T. Shankaran revealed that he was offered Rs 25 lakhs as bribe. More than 500 kgs of gold has been allegedly brought into India from the Middle East through the Kochi airport. The US Supreme Court has announced that it will take a second look onto whether Virginia's Republican political leaders altered the constituencies in the state's electoral maps to diminish the power of African American voters. The court said it will review a lower court's rejection of a challenge that said Republican leaders reduced the strength of the minority voters by packing them into a dozen House of Delegates districts. The US Supreme Court on Monday decided not to hear Google's appeal in class action lawsuit. Claims have been made that the company deceived California advertisers in the placement of internet ads through its AdWords service. A Google spokesperson refused to comment on the litigation. The 2008 lawsuit had accused Google of violating California advertising laws because it misled advertisers about where the ads would be placed. Major law firm Kravitz, Swaine and Moore of the US has increased the annual salary of its first-year lawyers to $180,000 from $160,000. Salaries of other associates have also been increased. The salaries in other elite law firms like Davis Polk and Wardwell, Skadden, Apps, Slate, Mega and Flom, and Sullivan and Cromwell are also likely to be increased. It's been almost a decade since the salaries of entry-level lawyers were raised. The 30 Hazari Court of Delhi will pronounce its order on the issue of cognizance on a criminal complaint filed against Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. The case was filed against Arvind Kejriwal for using allegedly defamatory and seditious words against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The complaint alleged that when CBI had raided the Chief Minister's Principal Secretary Rajendra Kumar's Delhi Secretariat office on December 15th last year, Kejriwal had made offensive remarks on his Twitter account against Modi. The Himachal High Court will announce the quantum of